the good thing about it is like you said, it is more college football, and college football is probably like because college baseball, March Madness, and then you got the NFL, NBA, like all their postseasons are a lot better. And college football's postseason kind of sucks because it's 2 games or 3 total. So this is help the postseason and ratings, and help college football continue to compete through the month of December because like right now college football's dead. There's no college football.
Yeah,
that is going to help. But
so what do you think? Do you think how long do they wait though after conference championship games to start the? Because when's the first games? Is it New Year's or the week of New Year's, right?
So like this year,
Yeah,
New Year's Eve.
this game.
Or semis are played on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, okay.
I think I saw that it would be so like this last games were last weekend.
Yeah.
I think it would be next weekend it would start. So you get
a bye after your championship game.
Yeah. You get a week off.
And then would it be another bye until you play your next week game too?
I don't think so. I think it's just
Okay. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's going to help them compete, and I think everyone's going to love more college football. And I just think it's going to be interesting because let's just say, honestly, hopefully TCU doesn't get blown out, but let's just say they keep it competitive. Like TCU's never been able to make it because they're always. It's not TCU. Like TCU is just an example. Like a team like TCU in their conference that's not seen as that great will lose one game and then be out, or go undefeated and will be out. I mean, that hasn't happened in a while, but it's interesting now to see some teams that may not get in. Like a Tulane, I think would have made it in this year.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Tulane would get absolutely destroyed, but
they did beat K-State week 1. It was week 1, but they did beat Kansas State.
Yeah.
So.
And another plus I think is that the recruiting battle now no longer going to be the top 4 teams getting all the talent. I think now that there's more opportunity for 12 teams, now the talent might spread out a little bit more, which would be nice. I mean, I haven't minded it, but I mean, for other teams, it might be nice to actually get some recruits that are decent and kind of break up their recruiting. So, but I think transfer portal kind of blows out of. I think recruiting matters, but not as much now. So,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's all we got on college football this week. Next week, we're going to go through all the bowl games, pick our winners for every game. And I guess, so the Heisman, it should be next weekend. So we can talk about next week who we think is going to win. We're going to talk about next week who we think is going to win the Heisman and who we think and who should.
Yeah. We'll also go over who we think is going to win it all, I guess. Or actually, no, we can wait. Or we can give our predictions maybe next week. We'll give our predictions next week about the Final Four. And then, obviously, we'll come out with our podcast when the next games come up as well during New Year's.
So, yeah, we're going to go ahead. No college football this weekend. There is Army. I think it's Army and Navy play this weekend. But go to the NFL. We have Thursday night football. The Raiders -6.5 at the Rams, over under 43.5. The Raiders are on a 3-game win streak, and the Rams are they won this. They went all in to win the Super Bowl, and then they got hit with injuries, and they have no depth. So,
yeah, I think it's an easy win for Raiders. I think they're on the roll. I think Josh Jacobs has kind of hit his stride, and I think Devontae Adams is doing Devontae Adams things right now. So, I mean, I think the only hiccup they could have would be for Carr to, slack off. But I think he's going to prove himself, hopefully, this next few games.
So are you taking Raiders to cover?
Yeah, I'll take, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take Raiders to cover too. Also, quick side note before we get into the rest of the games, I saw a stat saw a stat today or yesterday. So last weekend in the NFL, favorites went not against the spread, just overall favorites went 13-0-1. So the only loss being the Bengals beat the Chiefs, and then there was a tie.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it might be a big week for underdogs this week.
You think so?
Yeah. So another big game. I think this is a pretty big game. Jets plus 9.5 at the Bills, over under 43.5. It is a divisional game.
Yeah, so I think, Jets have looked good, but they do have, their new quarterback right now since they've benched, forgot his face, BYU boy. But Mike White. So Mike White, I mean, he's been looking good, but I just don't think he keeps up with Josh Allen. I really don't. So, I mean, I think they cover. I think the Bills cover here.
Ow. I'm gonna take the Jets plus 9.5 because you mentioned Mike White, but he's also thrown for 300 yards in back-to-back weeks. Last week they couldn't score. I think they were in the red zone like four or five times against the Vikings and kicked like 4 or 5 field goals. So that's why they lost. But yeah, I like the Jets plus 9.5, and I like the under 43.5 because it's a divisional game and it's in Buffalo. So God knows what that weather is going to be like.
Yeah, cold, right? Chilly,
windy.
Yeah.
Let's go to the hometown. Titans -4 at the Jags.
Titans did not look good yesterday. Not yesterday, last week against the Eagles. But I think that's just the Eagles for you. I think they're just a solid offensive team right now. And defensively, apparently. But, I mean, I don't know. Titans got to get something going because if Derrick Henry isn't running the ball like a maniac like he usually does, then, I mean, Titans just look like a chicken with its like head cut off. Like, they do not look good at all. So, I think it's a bounce back. I mean, if you look at some of Derrick Henry's highlight runs against the Jags, I think Titans cover here.
Yeah, I mean, not only against the Jags, but any divisional opponent.
Yeah.
Like, except for I haven't seen like crazy one. I mean, he has some against the Colts, but especially against Houston and the Jags, it feels like they are his highlight.
Yeah. Right.
So because of that reason, I like Derrick Henry anytime touchdown.
Okay. Yeah.
And I also like the Titans -4. I went and watched them play 2 weeks ago, like Sunday after Thanksgiving. Watched them play the Bengals. Yeah, you were right. Derrick Henry couldn't get it going, and they did not look good offensively.
But I think I don't think they have any wide receiver depth at all this year because they literally gave away AJ Brown for what, and maybe for what's his name, Treylon Burks or. Yeah, so I mean, and he's a rookie, so I mean, we can't expect him to hop into AJ Brown's shoes and just they did. So I think they win the game, but I think they need to get another star, especially on the wide receiver, to lighten the load for Derrick Henry a little bit.
Yeah, not even a star, just somebody like because Robert Woods, when they picked him up, I was like, oh, that's a good signing. Like nobody's doing anything.
Yeah.
So, they need to get that. I think they've lost now like 3 in a row. So, they need to win. Yeah, they lost to the Chiefs, then they had a bye, they lost to the Bengals, and then the Eagles.
Yeah.
So I expect them to bounce back.
I mean, it was a tough stretch, but
yeah.
Definitely gonna have to figure out something because I mean that's the teams they're gonna have to play in the playoffs if they make it. So.
Yeah, I think they're gonna make it. They're got a good lead in their division, but they need to win on Sunday. I mean, that's a divisional game. So, another divisional game. You just got done talking about them. Eagles -7 at the Giants, over under 45. Like you said, the Eagles are just great offensively and defensively. I mean, last Sunday, Jalen Hurts threw for 400.
Yeah.
And then the week before that, they ran for 400.
Yeah.
So they can just beat you however they want.
Yeah, so this game, I'm kind of conflicted on this one for some reason. I think Giants are going to play a lot tougher than Titans did. So I think I'm going to pick the Giants to cover on this one. I think they're going to keep it close.
I like the Giants plus 7.5 too. Just because the Giants, I think they were 6-1 at one point, and now they're 7-4-1, 7-5-1 because they had a tie last week. So they need this. They need a win or something to give them some confidence back. And a tie last week did not do that. I can guarantee you that. One of the most surprising lines of the week, which I'm kind of scared to bet it, but I think I'm going to anyway. Vikings plus 2.5 at the Lions, over under 52.5. I think the Lions are now on a 4-game win streak.
Wow, I didn't even see that spread. Vikings are down right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Sorry. The Lions are not on a 4-game win streak. I think they've won 4 out of the last 5, though.
okay. Well, I'm not 100% sure with this one, so what's your thoughts?
See, I feel like it's a trap because, like you just go on there and you see that line, the Vikings underdogs.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I like that's easy money. So something's going on, but I'm gonna take the over 52.5. The Lions don't really have a defense, and I don't think they have anybody that can cover Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
The Lions' MO all year is score points.
Yeah.
So I expect them to put up some type of points.
Yeah, I see that too. I mean, I do have what's his name? Williams. Lions backup, their second running back on my fantasy team, and he's been putting up some numbers. So I don't know. Maybe I'll rat him out this week, and maybe I'll put it on the money line here, or yeah, the Lions money line maybe, or maybe I'm gonna throw him in my parlay. But it's a scary pick to throw in my parlay.
Yeah, I feel like every week, no matter which these two teams play, I'm always like, dang, I like the Vikings and I like the Lions, and then especially the Vikings, I'm always like, not this year so much because they're 10-2,
Yeah.
but I just feel like they can lose every game they play.
Yeah.
Even though they're 10-2.
We'll see. I mean, I think I'm gonna ride with the Lions here. I think they're on a hot streak, and I think they're gonna ride it out, especially if they have a chance for a wild card spot. So we'll see. I think I'm gonna ride with the money line here though for Lions.
Then we got Sunday Night Football. Dolphins minus 3.5 at the Chargers, over under 51.5.
I think I'm gonna have to go with the Dolphins on this one. Maybe, but yeah, I'm just gonna say Dolphins money line here.
Dolphins money line. Okay.
Lost
Yeah,
last, right? Didn't they lose last week?
yeah, they got beat pretty bad too. I think about 16, 33, 17, something, 16, 30, something like that. Um, you know, the Chargers are like banged up. They're always banged up. They need to win this game to like kind of stay like ahead in the playoff hunt for the wild card. Um, I don't know. I don't trust Tua. Like I think he's good, but like I just feel like except for one game, and it was his first game in college, first big game,
Yeah,
first year, came in for Hurts in the Natty. I just feel like he crumbles.
yeah, I see.
So, but I just think then I look at the weapons he has, and it's going to be hard for him to fail. So
Yeah,
I think the Chargers are going to have to score, and I mean the Dolphins have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek. Just throw that bitch up.
yeah, yeah. If I honestly, I am a little bit fishy about taking Miami Dolphins, so I would honestly go with the over too. So you said,
Yeah.
yeah, I think over is a smart bet.
All right, and then that's all my straight plays I got for this week. I do have a parlay of the day. Last week, the parlay I posted on TikTok for the NFL was one game off, and it was the Titans +4. Never had a chance.
Yeah,
So this week, I was just talking about it. I hate doing it. I'm taking the Vikings money line. Texans +17.5 versus the Cowboys. Tampa +3.5. Who do they play? I forgot who Tampa plays. The 49ers. Tampa +3.5 versus the 49ers. The 49ers are down to their third string quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but he is a rookie. I think they're going to pressure him a lot. And then I'm taking Chiefs money line plus 807.
And then pretty much my parlay was just a bunch of money lines, I think, on this one. But just one of the ones you go off the whim on. But I think I was going to take the Raiders money line here. And then Bills. Actually, I think the Bills are going to cover, so I'd take their spread, actually. And then Pittsburgh money line, Cincinnati money line. And then Detroit money line here. Throw it in there. And then the Giants to cover.
Okay. It's like a 7 teamer right there. That